Happened to, I was looking back at the American League. What's happened to Oakland? They started out pretty strong. 2-8 in their last 10. I thought they'd be a little stronger. Of course, I want to say they beat the Indians 3 games, but that's not unusual. For Cleveland, they either sweep or get swept. So the good thing they won the first game against Toronto. I was like, maybe they'll sweep. Well, they got a doubleheader today.
Last night, Acuna hit his first home run of the year since
Dr.
last
Matovich,
July.
Did you see it?
Yeah, the Braves
He
are,
fell down. He fell
after
down.
he
Yeah.
hit it.
yeah, Braves 12 and 16. They're
That's
missing
what I'm
Freddie,
saying.
aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
think
missing
about
Freddie,
it.
aren't they? Yeah.
Well,
7
Acuna
games
just
back.
got. I mean, they only had Acuna for like this week.
Yeah,
First
I know
time
the
he's
Mets
been back.
swept them this past week.
Mets are good this year.
And DeGrom's not even pitching yet?
I don't believe he is.
No, because I thought I looked up last week he hadn't pitched yet. I didn't know when he's going to come back. When they get him back and if he's on?
Our problem is we're giving up a lot of runs, so we're not scoring.
Well, Tom, I was trying to find a updated projection for the baseball brackets. They do start playoffs this week, right?
You talking high school baseball?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that the can't remember the name of the conference that East Rutherford and all them are in, but RS Central swept Chase this week, so that left them tied. And from what I understand, I don't know the whole story, but there's the tiebreakers. Nothing broke the tie. They had identical records. They split with each other in their head-to-head. Blah blah blah. So they had a choice of flipping a coin or playing today. So it's going to be RS Central versus East Rutherford today. I want to say at the Owl's Nest in Forest City to determine who that
Ain't that better
champion
than
is.
flipping a coin? That just, God.
Yeah, but see, the thing I wouldn't like. Okay, so you have to
Y'all
play
lose the
you have
pitcher.
to play a bonus game, so you're going to burn
Yeah.
a pitcher. Now it might not
Yeah.
be your number one. You may go.
Well, I play it if you're not going to throw your number one, though. If you're not going to throw your one, just flip the coin. You got a better chance.
That's
Huh?
I think.
I wouldn't want to go in and play my number two if I'm not playing one.
And
You
I
gotta throw
might
your
be
ones.
wrong. I think East Rutherford played once this week. I think because each team in that had a bye, like
Yeah.
a bye week where you don't play any conference games. And I think this week was East Rutherford's bye week. I think he played a non-conference on Monday, and then didn't play. And then RS Central had to play Chase twice, their rival. They beat them 15-5 Tuesday. I didn't see the score. What an update. I texted AAD over there, and he told me that RS Central had won Thursday because everybody moved their games up to Thursday. Well, my buddy of mine is assigned to the game. He'll be umpiring that game today at the Owl's Nest. So they're going to play. And like Kevin says, are you going to burn your best pitcher, knowing that you got a first-round game? And even if you have a higher seed, we were talking about this the other day. So, I got a higher seed, so I get a home game. Well, you might be playing a team that's 8-13 and have a pitcher that's won all 8 of those games 1-0.
Yeah.
Now, that happens a lot in high school baseball. If there's one guy, one stud pitcher, and all them other guys believe, well, this is our day that we can win.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference. So
Right.
I don't know whether it's worth it. You know what I mean? I'm like with Kevin, well, flip the coin. We might be better off as the 2. You might be better off as the 2.
I
So-
see what you're saying.
so I mean, it's one of those things that's a little tricky because in high school baseball you don't play a series. Now, if I play a series, a 3-game series, yeah, go ahead and make me the number 1 seed. Your best pitcher might beat me, but I know I'm going to beat your other 2 because I got 3 or 4 pitchers and you got 1. But in a 1 game, winner take all these high school series, I don't know, Terry. I don't know if I'd want to face a 8-13 team from some town you never heard of, or some kid that signed with the freaking Mets or something, and playing his last game, and
Go
he
up
goes
against
out there
Mason.
and shuts you out. You lose
Yeah,
1
they're
to
gonna
nothing.
get there 1-0.
Yeah.
So standings in the Southern Piedmont 1A, 2A, Burns, East Gaston, Cherryville, Shelby. Now remember, this is 1A, 2A, so
Yeah.
most of the conference is going to be in the playoffs.
Now, Burns is the number 1 seed. And they had an interesting game over there. Burns walked off 1-5-4. Of course, the Cherryville kid hit a home run. It was contentious. Let me just put it that way. It was contentious, and there was a bit of, I think after the game, there were some hurt feelings and some things. I wasn't there, so I don't want to elaborate on it. But, nothing to where nobody's going to jail. But it was contentious. And I think that as long as Burns is in this conference with Cherryville, I do think that's a good rivalry. They're both good programs. They're both going to have good players every year. They've had good coaches. So I think that's going to be an interesting rivalry for however long this conference lasts. Now, like in football, it's kind of boring, but I think in basketball and in baseball, I think this is going to be intriguing every year that when these two teams get together, because it's always going to be close games. But Cherryville's going to get a high seed in the 1A. Burns is going to get a high seed, but East Gaston, they really had a lot of people said East Gaston was the best team in that conference, but good luck to all those teams. I think they're going to have good playoff runs. And Shelby winning record this year. That's been a long time since, Shelby.
Tom, you're talking about the pitch-up matchups. That conference exemplified it this week. I don't know anything about Cherryville or East Gaston's pitching. I don't know anything about them. But like you just said, East Gaston's only give up 25 runs in the conference all year. That's 2 a game. And they give up 7 to Cherryville in the first inning.
You have to wonder.
Right? So, again, we don't know who was pitching. We don't know what happened. I don't know exactly the circumstances. But you're talking about, like you just said, a lot of people think East Gaston might have been the best team in the conference. You guys give up 15 runs in 12 games. They give up 25. Comparatively speaking, Thomas Jefferson gave up 167 runs in 12 games.
They struggle. And a lot of those are shortened games.
Right. And so, I deal with that on our end as far as kids in comparatively speaking, but, you do have big differences in those. In East Gaston, as far as 25 runs isn't bad. Total in 25 games, they've only give up 70 runs. So that's still under 3 a game on average.
And they're also going to play games where, okay, I'm going to pitch this guy so many pitches against this team that I think we should beat. And I might bring up this kid from JV just to eat some innings, and he gives up 6 or 7 runs, but we win 15-7.
Yeah.
So that might, sometimes those numbers can be hard to interpret. I could tell you why Burns' numbers are low, because the Webb kid's had a great year. He's I think he's going to CVCC to pitch next year. So they've had one really good pitcher, and some of those games are shortened. You don't have to get into, but if it's an 8-run game, then okay, let's bring up this kid, give him some innings. Maybe if he gives up 3 or 4, it's okay. But, this time of year, they work on saving their pitching. You know what I mean? Like if you can, I know Cherryville was saving a particular pitcher for later games. They had a game they thought they could win, so they're going to pitch this guy. Maybe he gives up 5 or 6, but that's okay because we're going to score 15. So you're doing that game within the game to try, and so that might be a little misleading. But I think overall, looking at those numbers, you can't deny that Burns and how many runs did Cherryville give up? Burns and
30 was Cherryville. Cherryville was like 30
in conference, 39.
Okay.
Total 100. Burns gave up 56 total. So in conference, 15, 25 East, 39 Shelby, 36 Shelby, 39 Cherryville, and then Highland Tech Bessemer. Jefferson gave up a lot. But overall, Burns and East Gaston gave up less. Burns is right at 2.1 runs a game, and East Gaston's like 2.9 runs a game, and the rest of them are Cherryville's at 4 runs a game, roughly. So it's those two have pitched really well all together, apparently.
And your defense is not all pitching. Your defense is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Kings Mountain, Crest, South Point, North Gaston, and Forest, you have winning records in their conference. Kings Mountain is your conference champions over the Crest Chargers. They also won the Easter tournament, I believe. They've given up 46 runs in 22 games, so just over 2 for them as well. Crest has given up 78 runs in 23 games, so about 3 for them a game. So there's what you're looking at with them. South Point's only give up 77, the same as Crest, and scored 10 more runs than Crest, but Crest has got 1 more win than them, so I guess they snuck by them right there. And then North Gaston, 125 and 64. So North Gaston and Forest View is just a little bit below that. That Kings Mountain, Crest, and South Point looks to me like 12-2, 11-3, 10-4 is your head runners in that conference, I guess, the front runners.
Yeah, I think I like Crest maybe to win a couple games. They can get their bats going.
What time did you say that game was today?
Today is at noon, I believe.
I was about to say they got to play early, don't they? Because the state's got to get they're supposed to get their brackets out today.
Originally, it was a 5:00 game, and then they moved it to 12. And
probably they were told to move.
Yeah, they were told to move.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, they were. I believe, like I said, I believe
we're gonna play at 5:00. Y'all just wait on us.
Yeah. I would. I wouldn't say anybody would have that attitude.
You
would
don't,
they, Terry?
you
No,
don't
they
think
would
Q
have that
Tucker's
attitude.
sitting in her office at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening waiting on that game to finish?
Yeah, just started.
I don't care to elaborate on Q Tucker right now, but I think Crest and Kings Mountain similar talent. I think it depends on if they hit the ball. I think both of them have enough pitching to get through. Are they going to hit the ball? I think if they do, both those teams can go a long way.
All right. Well, we'll folks just we'll have games Tuesday or Monday. Cherville and a Cleveland County game. Whoever, Crest, Shelby, Burns, depending on matchups and where people are at, we'll let you guys know. Monday definitely we'll have it out Monday on Twitter and on the Facebook and everything else. You're talking about contentious things and everything, and